Howdy peeps, we're doing well. You just caught me moving the camera. Anywho, creaky chair still present. That's just a thing. I think we'll have to learn to live with it for the time being. So I want to talk a bit more about the recent videos that I've been kicking out and the reason as to why. You see, these are all topics that, funnily enough, or nothing funny about it, of course, this all kicked off between AH and JD around about the same time that I was going through my own little issues. Well, they weren't my issues, it was someone else's inflicted upon to me, someone else's fuckery. Quite similar, by the way, quite similar to the way Amber behaves. And I've been giving this more and more thought. And yeah, if and I don't know how much of a big if this is, because the American courts, people, all of that, especially people that haven't dealt with this kind of individual, they're not that uncommon, believe it or not. There are many people like Amber who go around literally destroying people's lives with not caring a world. It doesn't even concern them. And, you know, if you go ahead and look at the trial, you can see on her face, half the time she's questioning why she sat there. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? So they'll lay all the evidence out in front of her and be like, this is what you have done. Here is the evidence. Got a bit of dirt under my fingernail. It's not me. Why are you bothering me with this? You know. And I sort of think to myself, even like with the twists and turns that you get with life, right? The different people you meet as you go along and all of that. These people can drive a sane person round the bend. Crazy. Because that is what they are, ultimately. And again, non-professional opinion, right? They're crazy. So you got a choice of what you can call them now. You can call them, oh well, maybe they have whatever personality disorder. I think in this case they're going for histrionic, which, yeah, would be a thing. Coincidentally, one of the things that keeps on cropping up in my mind was the recording of when Amber was saying to Johnny, why do you keep poking me with a stick, backing me into a corner? Why do you want to slam my head into the wall? That is projection. That is what she has been doing to him since she took her mask off, basically. You know, we talk a lot about unmasking and showing the true self and all of this. Yeah. Well, that's basically all that it is. These people are nasty. Make no mistake about it. It's like, look, you can go into a prison and find the most psychopathic male in a prison. There won't be too much difference between that one and someone like Amber. The only difference is because they don't have the physical build to pull off the manoeuvres, or a lot of the time they don't have, I wouldn't say they don't have the confidence, because a lot of the time they've got a very high sense of grandiose, right? So they will either try and get someone to do the work for them, or manipulation. That's the only other tactic. And manipulation literally means anything from blatant lying, from blatantly, right, I'll tell you how much it is, how obvious it is. I'm holding up a, what have I got here? I've got a curtain rail in my hand. I'll just put the curtain rail on the side and then you moved it. That is literally a classic example of the shit they try and do, and it's like, you're like, no. For starters, it's not what you say it is. Secondly, I didn't even touch the damn thing. They won't have it. They won't have it. It's just a constant. And, you know, truth be told, this batters the other person's defences down. It makes you ill. It physically makes you sick, right? But this isn't something that they want to acknowledge, and when they do, and again, something that I've given a great deal of thought about is, alright, so she's got BPD. Is that going to be a pass? If it is, for you men that watch the channel, that are still interested in dating and relationships, the game, the rules have just changed a whole lot more. Think about that. Now, Johnny's got loads of money, right? More money than your average guy. He's already fought one defamation lawsuit, apparently over here in the UK, which actually I need to look into. I'm not sure of the outcome. I've heard through the grapevine, as it were, that it didn't go well for him. But he was just trying to clear his name. But then you're talking about one guy versus a media company who produce one hit piece after the next. You know, this is why I hate mainstream media. This is what they do. This shit for them, ruining someone's life, is entertainment for them. We saw it back in 2020, where they got to ruin everyone's lives and speak out again, you know, talk figures which were inaccurate and incorrect, and they knew they were doing it. But why do so many people still go to the mainstream? Why? That is one of the things that really aggs me about people. It's like, so many people claim to be so damn clever and intelligent, and it's like, well, you're going to the same source of information that has lied to you repeatedly for year after year after year, you know, about anything and everything. They've taken your money, taken you for a ride. They've even manipulated your mindset in a lot of cases. Think about that. You know, the only thing you should be reading newspapers or anything like that for is to find out the goddamn football results. Or whatever sport. You know, whatever. That is the only thing that they're good for. Other than that, you can't trust what they say. Because there's usually some other vested interest that they have in whatever the topic may be. You know, in this case, you know, even to the point where, this is, I'm digressing back to the whole Johnny thing, right? It's even when people with this BPD, they have the gall to do the things and say the things that they do, like go on, tell the world that you're a victim of DVI. Is it DVI? DV? Yeah, DV. Again, even on YouTube, you're not supposed to say certain words still. Now, I'm pretty sure that I've done a good job of burying the channel myself, just because I'm like, I'm pro freedom of speech. I should be able to say whatever you want without too many consequences, as long as you're not inciting anything and, you know, anything like that. Then you should be good. But no, narratives, you know, and all of this. And sure, there are other platforms, but again, that's delving off the topic. And again, to prove, I mean, even to me, this whole case, to me at least, has given some sort of validation, because, like, you know, realistically, you might tell one or two of your friends about a situation that you're in at home with your missus or whatever, because she's a bit like Amber or something like that, and they'll look at you like, are you for real? Like, are you making it up? Because the ordinary brain cannot comprehend why people would do and act the way that these people do. You know, that it doesn't. And unless you're in that situation, unless you're subjective to it, you know, a lot of people are just, and again, it's that thing of, oh, well, why don't you just leave? Well, you've all heard the tapes. You've heard what happened when Johnny tried to leave. Oh, it's hurting me more, you're making it worse, you're killing me. And if he stays, what happens? The abuse gets intensified. If he leaves, what happens? The abuse gets intensified. Like I said earlier, you can't win for losing with these people. And yet they seem to think that it's okay to behave in this manner. And I'll tell you what, like, seriously, if you want to get involved in relationships, right, this whole vetting thing that you do on women, right, needs to be far more intense. And if they find that offensive, good. That's your get out to get out. It's literally, they find it offensive, you start going, you know, I'm not saying maybe you should go as far as going through their medication cabinet or whatever, seeing what they're on, taking notes. Yeah, actually, you fucking should. You should. Because you need to know what they're on, why they're on it, and more importantly, you need to know what they're like as a person, what these personality traits can imply, and what they can imply for you. You know, we've always been told that, oh yeah, men are bad and women are far better and all of this, and it's like, well, now I pose the question to the masses. How many innocent men are literally in prison right now as a result of living with someone like that? Because all of their buttons got pushed and they snapped one day and they thought, fuck it, enough was enough. They can't see a way out. If they leave, they get done over. If they stay, they get done over. And look, for those that didn't get thrown in jail for that, for like reacting to a situation where they couldn't find any other way out, because, you know, look how much it's costing Johnny legally just to clear his name. This is a defamation lawsuit. This isn't any other trial. This is a defamation lawsuit. You know, the fact that everything is being dragged out is just a byproduct. But that aside, right, how many guys have also offed themselves early as a result of living with women like this? I would argue that it's because that kind of disorder is far more prominent in women than it is in men. Now, look, I'm professional, just hearsay, objection, hearsay, you know. it's changing the dating and relationship game so much, you know. And I'm curious as to, I've always been curious as to what gets these people in that, having that disorder. What happened to them now? Some have argued time and time again, and I would argue a lot of the time it's unprofessional. Some say it's down to certain neglect, or they've had other things happen to them that, you know, I'm not really allowed to talk about them, but, you know, the kind of actions that the likes of Savile, Jimmy, Rolf Harris and Gary Glitter, the type of things that they're into, you know, which destroy your kid's life from the get-go. Again, this is, I argue it's hearsay. I don't think it is solely down to that. I do think, you know, and again, personal and professional opinions, they don't really count, you know. It's just based on my own personal observations, and you know, actually, having said that, some people think that I do. Actually, no, they'd be right. They wouldn't be right in thinking it. They are right in thinking it. That I'm checking to see what's wrong with people before I get involved with them long term, and that includes friends. It's like, yeah. Once you've been with someone like this, like I said, this changes you forever. This is no, you know, it's doing nothing but destroying the relationships between men and women. Yeah, especially like in this instance, you know, regardless, I'm a firm believer in, it's like, look, the only way these people learn is through punishment, right? For their actions, I want to point that one out. It's like not just a case of, yeah. It's like, so in this instance, I still stand by what I said. For the psychological, emotional damage alone, my opinion is that Amber should go to prison. She should not be allowed out. You know, she shouldn't have any royalties. I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? This is the air quotes, the face of the hashtag Me Too, and this is how she treated her ex. You know, this is the world that we live in, man. And it's like, you wonder why you can't find a decent man. Well, a lot of decent men have had the misfortune of getting involved with someone like that. And as a result, what happens? Yeah, the armour does have a few more chinks in it, and you can rebuild on that. You can temper yourself more as a man. You can become a better man for it. It doesn't mean it's not going to leave a bit of a bad taste in your mouth for certain people with these personality disorders where you recognise it, because I've said it before, I despise these people because, like I've said, they know what they are doing. 100%. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing is wrong. They just don't want to be accountable for it. Their mindset is, I should be able to do this to you because fuck you. Yeah? It doesn't matter that they're it's like human rights aren't a thing for these people. But, this is where we're at, and I don't know. I don't have much faith in legal systems. I'm just hoping so much for Johnny that this works out in his favour. I also hope, and look, I get it. It might make me sound a bit sadistic and everything. It's like, no, I hope that Amber does feel the full impact of the law for everything that she has done to him, from where it's been physical damage, to psychological. It's going to take him years to recover from this. It takes people years to recover from this. So anyway, look, I'm going to wrap this one up for the time being. Thoughts, comments and opinions, feel free to jot them down as always. Please leave a like, I need the validation. Otherwise I'll have to bully you. And so don't put me in a corner, man. Don't put me with a stick. Don't slam my head up against the wall by not hitting that like button. Right? It's exactly how they do it, man. It's exactly how they do it. And that's why I don't like them. Anywho, till the next one, stay cool, stay free, peace out.